Hello and welcome. We begin with focus on the Indian subcontinent. Massive protests have erupted in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir against the Shehbaz Sharif government, with thousands hitting the streets. At least 2 people have been reported dead and at least 22 have been injured as clashes erupted in POK's Muzaffarabad. Videos of violence shared on social media showed chaos on the streets, with police vehicles running into a mob that purportedly attacked them. Reports also say that the police opened fire at protesters. The unrest has been one of the biggest that POK has seen in recent years. Phone and internet services have been partially shut in the region. These protests are being led by the Awami Action Committee, or the AAC, a civil society alliance. The AAC has called for a shutdown and wheel jam strike, demanding long-denied political and economic rights for the people of the region. The AAC claims that people residing in POK have been detained fundamental rights by successive Pakistani governments in over 70 years. AAC leaders say the lockdown and protest were a direct response to years of government neglect and corruption, as well as the region's resources being wasted on political patronage and bribery.
Our campaign is for fundamental rights denied to our people for over 70 years. Either deliver on rights or face the wrath of the people.
Well, the protests in Muzaffarabad saw widespread support among lawyers and other civil society organisations who backed the shutdown. They also spread to other districts in POK, including Mirpur, Kotli, Neelam and Poonch. The unrest came in the wake of a recent collapse of talks between the AAC, the Pakistani government and the POK administration. The talks were called off after the AAC refused to compromise on abolishing elite privileges and refugee seats. Locals say Islamabad treats POK as a colony rather than as a representative region. The protests have a long list of demands, 38 to be exact. It includes subsidised flour, fairer power tariffs and renegotiation of hydropower plants. Their key demand, however, is the abolition of the 12 seats in the POK Assembly that are reserved for Kashmiri refugees living in Pakistan, which locals say undermines local representation and allows Islamabad undue control over POK's politics. The protesters say the shutdown was only Plan A and that more severe steps will follow if their demands are ignored. In response to the agitation, the Shehbaz Sharif government deployed armed convoys in the region, with thousands of troops brought in from the Punjab province. Reports say an additional 1,000 police personnel were also sent from Islamabad. The deaths have further enraged the local communities, who were already on edge over several issues, including an increase in terror attacks in recent years. Increased terrorist activity also follows banned groups like the Jaish-e-Mohammed moving into the area to establish new bases after India's Operation Sindoor. Monday's protests in POK were not the first in the region. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir has long been a hotbed of unrest, with locals alleging years of neglect and systematic corruption. In May last year, the region witnessed several protests and shutdowns over the same demands. Back in 2022, there were massive demonstrations in the region against the Pakistan government's plan to fix the constitutional status of the occupied territory. India has maintained that these agitations in the POK are a natural consequence of Islamabad's continued policy of systematic plundering of resources from the region that remains under Pakistan's forcible and illegal occupation. Reports say the latest protests have put Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and his government in a tough spot. The Pakistan government fears these protests could escalate into wider demands for freedom. Is this the beginning of a storm that Pakistan fears the most?
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube: English,
$36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
geschäftsführenden Direktoren
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhões以上mo.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.